Goblin Slayer Episode 4. What's up, guys? Welcome to J Cloud's Anime Talk. And finally we get some action in Goblin Slayer because the past two episodes it felt flat and it was just a lot of unnecessary exposition. Even the first half of this episode was really dreadful and boring to watch, but there were some key moments in the beginning as well. When they walked into that cave seeing that elf hanging by the chains, it really touched the archer elf because she see one of her own people who had got tortured, most likely raped, by the goblins. And the shock factor wasn't as strong how it was in episode 1 because episode 1 was just really intense and you seen how everything went down with the goblins kidnapping these girls, but you just seen what the aftermath was in this moment. And after seeing that, they were questioning the elf, asking her, do you want to stay here or go home, because she was freaking out. And it makes sense because seeing your own people like that just get messed up by the goblins, it kind of does something to you, but eventually she toughened up and wanted to continue the job in an act of revenge. And the dwarf made her feel a little better too because he talked about his people are also sworn enemies of the goblins. So seeing that elf like that hanging from those chains, it kind of triggered the mindset of the dwarf and the archer on a mindset of revenge. And the dwarf is also able to create some drunken spell combining with the priestess spell that can make these goblins fall asleep. And that's when things really started to get interesting in this episode for me because honestly the first half it was very skippable. It was kind of not important to watch unless you want to see every single detail throughout the episode, and I'm that kind of person. I want to see every detail, but if I wasn't going to review it, I would have skipped it. But besides the point, after those goblins went to sleep, the archer just took that sword and started stabbing the goblins so many times unnecessarily, while the Goblin Slayer just stabbing them once. But I kind of get it because she's in revenge mode. She really not thinking straight. Now when this creature showed up, that's when things really started getting hyped because I'm thinking this was one of the demons that they talked about last episode, but no, it was an orc. And now we know for a fact that goblins can be controlled by other creatures, and that's really weird because I thought they were led by a higher ranked goblin, and that might still be the case, but this is a special situation because this orc was appointed to lead by the general demon lords. Now they talked about last episode that there's a demon king, but I didn't think that it will be also demon lords generals. And this kind of confirms that the whole demon king situation is more deeper than we thought it was. Well, for me. And I wouldn't be surprised within the next 2 episodes we will get to see one of those demon king generals, because I don't think they would just tease it in this episode and speak about it. So I think we're going to see it really soon, especially given the fact that it's only going to be 12 episodes this season. And if I'm wrong, somebody comment below and tell me. But if that's the case, then we can most likely see the next general demon lords in the next episode. But this orc was just a straight tank because any kind of damage he was taking, he can heal it right back up. To the point it seemed like he was literally unbeatable. I mean, no one could harm him at all until the Goblin Slayer showed up with that magic scroll that they were teasing last episode, and he used it against him. And the scroll contains seawater that he got under the sea. And the seawater is so strong that it cuts like a blade and it completely destroys him. And I don't know why, but the way the background went white and his body was just splitting apart, visually it reminds me of that moment when Cell was getting destroyed by Gohan. Definitely not comparing the moments of the scenes, but just the way visually it looked. And one thing I'm starting to notice ever since episode 1, when the Goblin Slayer gets in his mode and he just goes in a full onslaught, he gets this red glare in his eyes that just on that one eye that shows up, and I'm just curious, what is that? We don't get to see his face, so what's really under that helmet? I don't know if they do that just for special effects to make it more dramatic, or is there something really going on under that helmet? And if it is, hopefully they touch upon it later down the line in the series and show us a face reveal. And the part that made me really mad was the fact that these 2 elves show up later at the end of the episode and just ask, hey, is there any more goblins left in there? I mean, y'all show up after the fact is over, then want to scout inside after all the goblins are dead when they were just raping your own kind. You know, it just kind of shows that the whole scenery of how the people are in this series, they really don't take the goblin quest seriously. And I don't think the people that the Goblin Slayer is with, like the dwarf, the lizardman, and the archer, I don't think they took the goblins seriously before all of this as well, until this episode. And I don't think this would change until goblins and these demons just take over the entire towns and people can start saying, okay, these goblins ain't nothing to mess with. We gotta take them seriously now. They are a threat. So episode rating, I gotta give it a 4 because it's just sometimes it's just too much talking and little action. You know, I don't like when everything is all about action, but at the same time, when a dialogue is very skippable, that just makes the episode boring to me overall. So to end it here, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this review, make sure to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content. I'm J Cloud, I'm out. League or nothing.